Welcome to 1 hour of miniature goodness. Okay, today we've got Clubtail. Now, absolutely huge miniature. And what's crazy about this miniature is it's the same price as some of the human-sized Reaper miniatures that they do. So it really is good value for money, this one miniature. Now, what I've done here is I have added some shield brown as the base coat and the primer. So that's all finished and dried. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go straight into some dragon black because I'm painting this for Koi. And hello, Carlos. And what we're going to do is I'm trying to base it on the game Ark. So this little dino is a Ankysaurus, I think it was, Ankysaurus, and it collects stone. So what I'm doing, I'm going to give it a nice brown bottom half, but the top half I'm going to try and give it a stony effect. So what I'm going to do now is get straight on and just start adding that black, and it should be a nice little speed paint for this one. And what we've got later on then is I'll add some clay to the base. So all I'm doing is going all over the spiky bits with the black. Oh, can you just check that everybody can hear me okay? I've had so many times where I've been talking to myself now. Oh good, awesome, 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 awesome. Hello Hamish, hello Michelle. I wasn't sure if you'd all changed your clocks or anything. So I'm trying to base this dinosaur on the game Ark. I haven't played it in ages, but Corey, Scorpler, and quite a few others. We used to play on a server with the Ark server, and this little dinosaur, like I say, he used to collect rocks for your game, and it was really, really nice. So all I'm doing is quickly adding the black. And because black is the darkest colour, we're starting with that one first to get it out the way. I try to always start with the darkest colours if I can, and then you work up your lighter colours on the miniature. It doesn't matter that I'm going over with the black onto the underside, because we want that dark, because we can blend in the brown underneath the belly and it'll all look really nice. It's just a nice, quick, easy paint. We're just working that black into all the areas. Now with this miniature, I will say a few things before I move on, and that is there was quite a few gaps in the miniature, so I had to fill up the gaps with some Vallejo putty. As you all know, I used the this one here, this one. It's fantastic for filling in any gaps in your miniatures. Absolutely awesome stuff. Much better than green stuff, the two-part green stuff mix that you have to mix together. This one is just like toothpaste, and you fill up the gaps, and it just hardens like plastic, and it's super easy to use on all your minis. For larger gaps, yes, use your green stuff, but for the smaller ones, that is absolutely perfect. Okay, so that's our little bit of black And it's already got a nice little two-tone going there. Got some brown and some blacks. Okay, now I'm going to start adding some black and grey together. And we're going to start bringing up those tones on the old, I'm going to call them rock scales. Because I want him to look very rocky to go over the bass that I'm doing. Hello, Chav Hunter. Thank you so much for becoming a patron this week, Chav Hunter. It's much obliged. Always nice to have new patrons saying hello. Okay, so I've got some dragon black, and I'm just going to add a tiny bit of dragon white. That noise you can hear, if you do not know, that is my paint mixer. Absolutely amazing to have a paint mixer. Okay, let's get some more room. And all I'm doing is taking some black onto my little bit of tissue there. I'm adding a little bit of white, mixing that in so it's a dark grey. Nice dark grey. I haven't seen any messages, Chav Hunter. Just get in touch when you can. I've got no problems. I am normally quite busy as well, so if I've missed it, then I apologise and I will get back to you. I get quite a few messages every day on Twitter, on my Discord, sorry. So as you can see, I'm just adding that grey, and it's already, you got the black at the bottom, so it's already given a nice little highlight to the rest there. Very fast and simple to do. Just going over the tips, quite close to the base of these little horns, or rocky outbits as I call it. And that's perfect. And now we're going to add some more white. I'm going to lighten it up, make that a more lighter grey. And again, we're going back over the spiky bits. We're leaving the bottoms now, so we're just going on the spiky bits. So the bottom of the spiky bits are still nice and dark, but they're going to get lighter and lighter towards the tips. Bit more white, adding that to the grey, making it even lighter again. So we're just working our way up the spikes and making them lighter as we go. And again, lighter again, tips of the spikes. Nice, fast and easy. Back into the white, last little highlight just to make it a little bit on the tips. There we go. Ah, yeah, that's nice, very nice. Okay, so that's our little shell done. What we can do now is start working on the brown, and the brown is again super simple. As you can see, all lovely little effect going around. I wanted that nice little stone effect to the back of the dino, and that's worked out exactly how I wanted it. Just by adding those lighter grey tones, we're bringing it up. What you can do when the miniature is finished, you can maybe add a few little spots of green and like a bit of moss going through all the little bits of the stony work on the back. Hiya Nath, how you doing? and creatively, I can never say that, can I? And Overcook's in the house. Hello. I hope you are well. I hope you are well. Okay, so that's our back done. I'm loving this already, and I think Corey's gonna love it when I send it to him. So what we're going to do now for the actual skin is we are going straight into some desert tan. But first of all, I'm going to have to go over a little bit of this with the shield brown. So what we're going to do is the same effect. I'm going to add some nice layer of brown first. And what we're going to do is mix in our desert tan and then bring out some highlights on the tops of the skin of the miniature. Hello, Overcook again. Okay, now I've got to be careful because paint is still wet, and if you speed paint like I do, it doesn't get time to dry. So here we go. Again, all I'm doing is I'm just kind of blending in that black back into the brown, so it looks more like a shadow than it does an actual mess. If I go over, you can just go over with your finger and take it off there. So don't worry about going over places. Painting is fun, and it doesn't matter how many years you've been painting for, you're going to make mistakes, and that's part of the fun of doing the miniatures, is learning by your mistakes. I mean, it's such a beautiful thing to do, paint miniatures. Absolutely fantastic. And if you've never tried, then you need to try. There we are. That's all I'm needing to do. I'm just keeping that black at the bottom because that makes a nice shadow underneath the shell. So just adding some brown here and there, just to take away some of the overpaint from the black. That's fine. So now I can start highlighting. I'm going to hold it by the tail, and I'm going to start adding that desert tan into my brown on the tissue. Yes, look, I'm shouting, sorry. Yes! They're from Reaper Miniatures. This is a Reaper Miniatures. This is Clubtail. And they do quite a few different dinosaurs, actually. They do the raptors. Everybody in chat, can you help? Because I have painted most of the dinosaurs now from Reaper. But if you go onto their website, you'll just type in dinosaur and they'll come up. There is still a few more dinosaurs that need to be released from the last Kickstarter. I know they did a Tyrannosaurus Rex, which I'm looking forward to painting. But they've done loads and loads of different kind of dinosaurs. And of course, Corey, one of my patrons, he's crazy for dinosaurs. So what I do is I post him a dinosaur every time I paint one. Okay, so I'm just going over the highest areas with the lighter brown now, and just around the face. Now, with this part of the miniature, with all this part of the miniature I'm doing here, what I'm going to do is I shall be adding a brown ink wash to all the brown areas. The top half is fine as it is, but the brown here will look fantastic with a little brown ink wash once I've finished highlighting the skin areas. And all I'm doing is adding the desert tan, more desert tan to my shield brown. So what you're looking at is a dark brown and a lighter brown, and we're just working up the colours and making them lighter, exactly like we did the black with the grey. Now we don't have to worry about the bottom too much because it's going to be stuck to the base, so we can just go over with a basic little highlight, just picking out those underscales Then the brown ink wash will do the rest of the work for us on that part of the miniature. Okay, let's go on to this side. Again, I'm just adding more brown, some darker brown, and then some lighter brown, and we're just going to pick out the highest areas on the mini. There we go. It's very, very simple to do, but looks fantastic once it's all done. I'm alive! I'm alive! It's alive! He wants to live with me. Okay, so once more, a little bit more highlight on the highest areas. Again, light source, highest areas at the top of the thighs here, the back, just there. This part of the tail, so that's going to be lighter there. And of course, we'll go for the tops here, and this little bit there. And just on here, a little bit lighter, just on the top there. And the same on this side. Back of the leg. Just there. There we are. There we are. It's already looking great. Now all I need to do is add a nice brown ink wash to the whole miniature. But we'll let that dry for a little bit, and then we'll add that brown ink wash. But as you can see, awesome already! Oh. Okay, now I've got some brand new clay today, and it's a little bit more expensive clay than I normally use, but it's air drying clay. So what I'll do is I'll talk to you a little bit about my air drying clay, and then we'll go back to our little guy here. So you be good, you stay there. No. Yeah. Go over there. Okay, now for my bases I like to use, let me go back a little bit, I like to use the Fimo clay, which is one you can put in the microwave. This is the Fimo Air Basic. This is actually clay. It's a little bit more expensive than your normal air hardening clay, but it's got a 24-hour hardening process, which is not bad, about 24 hours quicker than normal clay. What you need to do with this clay is once you open your clay for your models, you make sure you put it in one of these containers. This is an air-proof sealed container, and it will not harden then. It'll always stay nice and soft for when you want to use it next time. So I'll put that there for now. Okay, I am going to add that brown ink wash to this guy. I've got some Agrax Earthshade, absolutely fantastic. Like I say, I'm just showing you the basic paint today, of super fast and easy peasy. Okay, where's my little... There he is, right in front of me. I need... Oh. This is my little paint rack. This holds my... Scottish Andy made me this. It's a 3D print, and he's put Goblins of Mordor on it, but it's fantastic because it holds my little pots of ink wash, and we've probably all spilt our ink washes, but with this one it's not going anywhere. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, now for the ink wash I shall need some of my cotton buds, if I can find them. There they are, right in front of me. Cotton buds for taking off any excess ink, so I put them there. And that's all we need. And I'm going to again hold the tail. And I've got a nice manky old brush. And we're just going to add that ink wash, if you can see what I'm doing, to all the brown areas of this miniature. And what happens with the ink wash is the brown ink wash will go into all the recesses, and it brings out every single high area, and really works well for your minis. I cannot recommend ink wash highly enough. There's a lot of people that don't like using ink wash, but it's everybody's personal taste. To me, for a tabletop standard paint, ink wash is a blessing from the paint gods. Blessing from the paint gods. So all we're doing is a nice generous, my dog's barking, a nice generous little lay of paint, ink wash should I say, not paint. And we're just going straight over. And what I'm going to do before that ink dries, I'm just going to take away the excess on the highest areas. This will give us another bit of highlighting without actually doing anything. You cannot see because my hand's in the way, I apologise. And all I'm doing is taking a little bit of ink away from the highest areas where I want it to have a kind of like light source, just like so. And we'll leave all the rest in all the recesses. So we're just taking away, there we are, perfect. And we'll just slowly move our way around. Cotton buds are fantastic for helping you with your miniature, especially with ink wash. Ink wash can get very messy, and the biggest mistake you can make with ink wash, and I've done it hundreds of times myself, is let it pool. What you need to do is, once you've added that ink wash, keep checking back on that miniature, because what will happen, because the ink wash is so liquidy is the word I'm looking for, maybe it's so runny or liquidy. What will happen is it will continue to go into, like it's done there on the bottom of the foot. It started pooling on the bottom of the foot, so you need to keep an eye on that, because if that dries in that position, what will happen is it'll look really quite tacky once you've finished the miniature. So it's really important to keep an eye on the ink wash, let it do its job, but keep on removing any excess and don't let it build up in one area, because it can look quite nasty. It can ruin a miniature. On some miniatures you might want to build up that ink wash. I've done quite a few cloaks, brown cloaks and things, and I've wanted a shade in between the ruffles of the coat. So by adding a couple of layers of brown ink wash, I've actually got that shade in through the ink wash, rather than actually painting a shade inside the ruffles of the coat. So it can actually work to your advantage, but if you're a beginner, highly recommend you just do what I'm going to do now. You go around the miniature and you just check for pooling of your ink wash, like in between the toes there. So we're going to just remove a little bit from the toes, like so. Just check the bottom, because the ink will go to the bottom of the miniature. So we're just taking off the excess. And he's about done. Just got to do his eyes and his mouth. But what I'm going to do now is I shall get on and show you the base. I don't know what time we're on. Yeah, we're good. So what I'll do now is I'm going to pack all this away, and I'll start moving in and start building up the rock base with the air drying clay. Hello Gerald and Philippe. Hello Philippe. Now, some of you have probably watched my shows on doing clay bases. Very, very simple, but very, very effective, and they look fantastic once they're painted up. Now, my idea today is to have our little dino here, because he's collecting rocks. So I'm going to have him on this side of the base, and I'm going to build up some little rock piles here. So it's nice to, like a little rocky outcrop, and he's just wriggling through the rocks. So that'll be nice. Just checking for ink wash again. It's fine. Okay, so for air drying clay we need a little sculpting tool. This is just a little wooden sculpting tool. We need a little bowl of water, which I've got here. This is to dip your fingers in so you can sculpt the clay without leaving fingerprints. Fingerprints look awful on a miniature when they're finished. I've also got some little blue gloves. This is because I'm in my workshop. If you are near a kitchen or anywhere, you can, be close at hand. But because I'm using my computer and everything else, I need to wear these gloves so it doesn't go everywhere. And of course, we need the clay. So I'm going to put these little gloves on, and I'll make a start. And I got a cat's hair up my nose. I hope everybody's okay in chat. It's awesome that you're all popping on to see me. Okay, so I'm just going to snip this open here because it's going into a sealed container. There's no problems about it going off. So I'm just going to take a chunk of this and then put it into the sealed container. There we go. And there it goes. Now it's in the container. It's all safe, and I can use it for another day. And I can actually put my excess into the container once I've finished. If I can get the lid on. There you go. Okay, now you've all seen me do rocks before. Well, you're going to see me do rocks again because I love rocks. Okay, let's get this in focus. It's very, very simple. I just take little chunks of this, and we're going to just start building it up around the base. And again, I've said this many times before, once you're doing clay miniatures, once the clay dries, it will come away from the base, and all you need to do for that is use some PVA glue, and it will stick back on perfectly well. I'm just starting to sculpt some little edges to these rocks just by using water, and I'm working my way around the rocks. I'm just flattening them down. We're going to add more rocks on top of these. Once this air drying clay is hardened in 24 hours, I will then PVA these rocks back on, and I'll add a gravel base to add more rockiness to the base. Okay, just using the miniature for scale. So that's perfect, like so. The miniature will be just like that. and then we can just work our way around. A little bit more, one just here. I need my, there we are, and I think we'll just add one here. So it's kind of going through the rocks, that'll be nice. Perfect. Off you go. A bit more clay here. If you've never tried working with clay, highly recommend it. It's great fun. Absolutely love playing with clay. The only problem with clay is it is quite fragile. You do have to be careful. You don't want to be dropping your miniatures. You don't want to be dropping your miniatures anyway, but with a clay base, you got more chance of the base shattering and the clay coming away from the base. But it is a fantastic way to make some really, really nice bases for your miniatures. Okay. When you're doing rocks, it doesn't really matter how they look, but you want to keep parts of the rock quite smooth, and you're trying to get some sharp edges on certain areas. Not on all the rocks, but just enough so when you paint these grey, they will actually look like rocks instead of chunks of clay stuck to a base. And of course, water is the key to everything. Using the water to smooth the clay out and stop any fingerprints. And just by using this one tool, I can get the whole base done nice and simply. Okay, now if you want to add more rocks on top of rocks, again, very simple thing to do. We just take little chunks of clay like so, roll it into a little ball, and what we're going to do is just add some lines to the top of this piece of clay here, and we're going to add some water to this side as well, and we're just going to crisscross a little bit on there. That's our sticky, and then we just add that on top of the thing, and that won't go anywhere. That will dry and it will stay in place. And we can do another one on top of that. Again, I'm just going to smooth the top off. And just some crissy-crossies on the top of the clay. Take a little bit of clay off from the next pile. And we're just adding that to the top of the pile. So we've got a nice little pile of rocks just there. And like I say, this clay takes about 24 hours to dry. And that's what we do to add some lovely rocks to our bases. Simple as that. Super basic. Once that's dry, I'll add some gravel to the base, and that's us done. Now, what I'll do is, if the dinosaur is dry around the eyes, we'll paint in the eyes before I say goodnight to everybody. I'll take these little gloves off. Hello, Renegade Shank. Hello, Mokai. Okay, so that's our little base there, and of course he's going to go in there nicely, just like so. And all the rocks will be painted up grey, and they'll match in and blend in with the top of the dinosaur. So that will make an awesome little base. Now, this base is 120mm Base Boss base by Reaper Miniatures. Hello, Tal. Tal's in the house as well. Okay, let's see if I can take some of this out. I want to just show you the eyes quickly before we finish. There we go. I'll see if I can quickly get those eyes done for you. Very, very simple. Again, we're going to use some Dragon White. I really need to consider maybe doing 2 or 3 minis on this show instead of just the one, but we'll see how we get on in the future. I mean, I don't want to overload the show. I don't want the show to go on for hours and hours either. I want to be able to show you a quick and easy way to paint your minis. So all I'm doing is quickly adding a little bit of white to the eyes, like so. And again, it's not going to dry in time, I don't think. Let's see. Oh, I got a shake in my hand. There you go. If your hand starts shaking when you're doing delicate parts of the miniature, just hold your breath for a couple of seconds and it will stop your hands shaking a little bit. So it does help. Unless, of course, like me, you had a big cup of coffee before the show. Remember to breathe afterwards, I know, right? Yeah, so now with these eyes we can either leave them white, which we're going to have to do because it's not going to dry in time, but what I was going to do was I was just going to cover the eyes with some contrast yellow. This paint is fantastic because what will happen with this paint is it will give a very light film of yellow over the eye, but it will also give a shade around the eye of a darker yellow, so it gives you a nice effect to those eyes. And then of course we just add in some black for the pupils of the eye. Once that's done, I then add a gloss varnish over the top of the eye just to give a shine. The same with the mouth. The mouth, I'll paint the tongue a little like a dark pink, and I'll add some gloss varnish or some satin varnish to the inside of the mouth just to make it look wet. Everybody's talking about having shaking hands now. Yes. Okay, yeah, it's not going to dry. Times it. Okay, we'll give it a couple of minutes. We'll give it a couple of minutes, and we can see if we can finish these eyes before I say goodnight. Has anybody got any questions? Any questions about anything? Yeah. Now's the time to ask. We're just waiting for these eyes to dry, and then I'll show you these eyes. Did that guy come attached to a moulded base? Did you have a good day? Bonnie says walkies. Did you go? Yes, yes, Geek Curie. What it is, I think this mini was about £6 or something, £6 or £7 on VP UK, and yet, you know, you're paying that for a human-sized bones miniature sometimes on the metal. I just thought for the size. Let me give you a size comparison. Where's my? There he is. It's a 4 scale. There's there he is. It's a 4 scale. Don't want to say that wrong in front of Andy. So he's a great sized dino, you know. Yay! I mean, for the price, I just thought it was a really good price. And the reason I'm saying that is because I had the what was it I painted a few weeks ago? Was it the raptor? Well, it was not the raptor. The there's the horned, the other dinosaur, and I was expecting that to be much bigger, but it was actually quite small compared. So this was a pleasant surprise when I got this one. Yeah, geek. Yeah. You know, it's exactly what I was thinking. Don't start me off now. I've nearly made it a whole show without losing myself. Oh, and Shank's in chat as well. That's not good. That's not a good combo. Okay. Okay, what I'm going to do is we're going to leave the yellow, but I'm just going to show you how I would do the eyes for this dinosaur. So for this dinosaur, I've just got an ordinary, this is a masterclass brush. There we go, a little masterclass by Army Painter. Awesome little brush. And all we're going to do is we're going to paint it with a line going horizontally. So let's see if I can see that. And okay, straight across, just a tiny. Oh God, stop shaking. There you go. There. Oh, shaking again. Oh, goodness me, I'm shaking today. 1 second. 1 second. Ah. There we are. We good? Yes, we're good. There we are. And we're just doing a horizontal eye, like so. My goodness me, my little hands are like. Ooh. Right, we'll try that again with the other one. I don't know if I want to now, but I will. I'm not a quitter. I'm going to try this again. I'll have to just tell Claire next time I won't have a real coffee before the show. I don't know how Hamish, I don't know how Hamish in chat there, I don't know how Hamish paints, because Hamish gets through, I would say, easily a jar of coffee a day. Honest to God, Hamish is crazy for coffee, absolutely crazy. And yet he still paints really well, so I think his body's probably just immune to it. Okay, let's try this again. La 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 la. There you go. That's better. That's better. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There you go. That's what I wanted. There we are. What we got there is a nice thin line going across the eye. See? This is why you don't quit. I'll have to redo the other side now. That's fine. So there we are. That's my little thing for today. So this is my little dinosaur I'm going to be sending to Korea. Of course I'm going to finish it off. What I'll do is once this miniature has dried, I'll finish off the miniature and I'll post it in our Discord and onto Patreon and onto Twitter and show you the finished miniature. Now if you're in chat, don't forget you can watch Hamish Goblin Squire at 8 o'clock on his Twitch stream. But until then, I am going to say goodnight and loads and loads of love to every single one of you. Thank you all again for popping in and supporting me. It is so much appreciated. So you look after yourselves and I shall see you on, what day are we on? I'll see you on, what day is it? Tuesday. I'll see you on Thursday. Oh my God, I've lost it today. I'll see you all on Thursday. And on Thursday we're doing WizKids. I got a very special miniature that nobody has seen yet, and I've got it to paint for you all on Thursday at 7 o'clock. So good night everybody.